Welcome back to a brand new episode of Une Sports, hosted by myself, Mr. Wets. I'm taking the reins from my buddy.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
What's up, Rich?
Yeah, man.
Uh,
I haven't. I was not prepared, so I'm like, yeah, good, man. Like, me
uh,
the passenger.
yeah. As always, you can find the. This is episode 97,
No
by the way.
KD,
This is episode
please.
97. Welcome back to a brand new episode 97. As always, you can find the episodes on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast from. And yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of an impromptu episode this week. I got a couple things on my mind that I want to see what Richie feels about them. Mainly, it's gonna be Manchester City versus Real Madrid, and how Pep Guardiola lost another lead in that game, or Manchester City lost another lead in that game, and the thing that's been very exciting in the NBA. Like, as for me, is the Luka Dončić debut for the Los Angeles Lakers, man.
I think a lot of people are excited to see it, even if you're
Yeah.
not a Lakers fan. It was
Hmm.
a major event. I know they were playing the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the Utah Jazz, but it was still like, what time is it? 10:30 Eastern time yet? You know, everybody want to see it. Like,
Yeah. Um, I mean, but yeah, do you want to start there? Where do you want to start? What we doing?
you're the driver. You're the
All right.
Steph Curry, as you would
So,
say.
so on Wednesday we had the first leg of the knockout stages in the Champions League.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, I would say Wednesday. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tuesday. Yesterday was second day.
Yeah.
Yesterday was second day. We're recording on Thursday. So, at one of those games, I mean, I don't know if you want to go off and list the results, Rich.
Yeah, but you can go on. I'm gonna pull
Yeah.
up the list
Cool.
and I'll
What
let you know when I have it.
the marquee matchup obviously was, a team that they've been butting heads over the last four seasons. It's Real Madrid versus Manchester City, with the first leg at the Etihad.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Remember when I was asking, I'm like, oh, we playing them? Like, I prefer playing away. Yeah.
So with the first leg at the Etihad, Real Madrid wins at the death, 3-2, from a goal from Jude Bellingham, where I think
Mbappe and you talking about like the last
yeah,
one?
the last
Okay.
goal. I
Yeah,
think I
Jude
think they
Bellingham.
credited Vinicius for an assist on that goal, but
Yeah, that has a lot of people talking about
yeah, I
like,
was
oh,
like,
we're
that was a
giving those
shot.
kind of assists. I'm
I'm
like,
like,
bro, that was a fair shot.
that was a shot.
It should not be a credit and assist, but you're correct. They credited it as an assist.
It's okay.
A
Yeah,
ridiculous assist, but
yeah.
yeah. I
And
have the
going
quick
back,
bites if you want me to
yeah,
quickly
go
give it
ahead,
to
go
you.
ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Brest was playing at home. They lost 3-0 against Paris Saint-Germain, which they're very familiar with. Sporting lost against Dortmund 3-0. Juventus won 2-1 against PSV. And like you mentioned, Manchester City lost against Real Madrid at home 3-2.
That was on
That was
Tuesday.
on Tuesday and Wednesday. Club Brugge, with a controversial penalty, won against Atalanta 2-1. Celtic lost against Bayern Munich 2-1. Monaco lost against Benfica 1-0. And Feyenoord beat AC Milan 1-0.
Santiago Jimenez versus his
Yeah, versus
former
his former
team.
team. And then,
Yep. They
yeah.
had to they had to sub him off. He probably didn't want to score against them. But yeah, man, Rich, going back and watching that game, I felt like Real Madrid had a really good hand in that game. That I felt like I don't know if I would say Manchester City were dangerous. They were dangerous, but my whole thing about wanting to discuss this game, because I mean, obviously we talk about Real Madrid a lot, and Manchester City has been, dominant for the past, since 2016, 2017, really. And they won a four-peat in their domestic league. And it's a team that they're very familiar with in Real Madrid, a team that beat them a couple times, but they also beat on their way to their first Champions League trophy. But the reason why Manchester City is dominating the news right now, it's for the bad reasons. It's because they're losing a lot of games. 7 losses in the domestic league already this season. And it's the way that they're losing these games. They don't look the same way again. They don't look dominant. They don't look crisp. They don't look sharp. They don't look threatening. They look very feeble. A lot of times I'm watching Manchester City now and I'm thinking like, oh man, this just looks like I'm watching Manchester United. Feels very familiar.
Yeah, they're very inconsistent. Like you mentioned, like they're like a rotten good car that hasn't been like serviced for 1 year, but it's still like a great brand. You know, like it needs to be serviced. You know,
Yeah.
they're very bad, inconsistent. Every time you think they're gonna like, okay, they're founding like a momentum, and in the next game they show you like, nope, we're back to wherever we were in November, being inconsistent in the play. It's just like I don't know if it's mental at this point for the players. Every time Manchester City is winning, you don't feel like they know like they're gonna be able to end this game as winners.
Again,
So
goes
yeah,
goes to my point of like Manchester United. It's the same thing. Like maybe a little bit of a reversal in terms of
like getting
like
scored first.
exactly like
Okay.
when Manchester United gets scored on first, they don't have the mentality. It's like oh man, like we're gonna lose. But with
And a
Manchester
second,
City,
yeah, a second similarity with both is just that they're not able to give you 80 minutes
yeah,
of consistency. I'm not saying 80 minutes of great ball. I think it's very difficult. There's a very few teams that can give you 80-minute like high. When I say high intensity, I'm just saying like controlling every aspect of the game. Maybe Barcelona or Liverpool are the two teams I know maybe that can do that to play like a very great large of minute dominating the game. And not just on possession. I'm not really talking about, but it's just like like sequences. Able to maintain the ball and then like then go back at your team then coming down. Yes, but they're not even going to give you 40 minutes of great ball. Huh? That's sad. That's sad to see. Would you last year? Would you ever think that if I tell you like your city is gonna be this team, you would have laughed at me, right?
100%, a hundred
Yeah.
percent. And like the thing is that like they're everybody's blaming it on one player being gone and Rodri. Like, come on, the like one player doesn't
One, yeah, it doesn't
doesn't
get it to that point.
yeah, like come on, like
Yeah,
we need to stop that
it
excuse.
surely affected the team like for example, the game yesterday could have not been lost if you had Rodri. Maybe he would have been able to like sometimes like I'm winning 2-1. There is no reason for me to stay open. There's no reason. No, like I'm a fragile team. I
Hmm.
need this W, you know? Maybe yeah, maybe a Rodri would have helped like maintaining the calmness of the team and not okay, errors is errors. Like there was error, like also like you can't mitigate errors if a player like another player cannot mitigate another player's error if it happens. But maybe he maintains the ball and then give it to the right people, the right
Hmm.
passes. But yeah, like you said, overall it cannot break the whole DNA of that team. But also we've mentioned that before. I think that Guardiola underestimated the physicality and how these players are going to their career. Like talking about Kevin De Bruyne
Hmm.
in the midfield, Bernardo Silva in the midfield. Maybe he needed a little juice. And the player he bought in January are not players that actually are. Because you remember when I said like, okay, Mamouche is gonna come and he's gonna be able to score, but it's not really gonna stop the bleeding because it's the midfield. It's the defenders. Yeah, you bought two defenders, but they haven't really consistently playing. I would
Hmm.
have probably wanted to see Kusanov and like, you bring him as an emergency. Let me see Kusanov.
Yeah, and that's it. That while you're on that point, like
Yeah.
let's just talk about it a little bit because that's exactly what he did. Like when you talk about bringing in some new juice in, like that's what they did in this January window. They brought
200,
in
200 million, right?
$200 million
Yeah.
dollars.
Let me see them. Let me see Mamush,
Just
man.
you just brought a bunch of players, but that's what it's the tactical approach now that I really want to talk about with Pep and some of the decision making that he has. Like For example, you bring in Kusanov, right? I think Kusanov, if you can double check real quick for me, I think Kusanov is 19 or 20 years old, right?
Around.
Doesn't
I'm a
doesn't
fact checker.
yeah, doesn't speak English, right? And then you just bring him in within 3 days time or 4 days time, you start him in one of the biggest Premier League games
20.
of he's 20 years old. One of the biggest Premier League games that he's probably ever going to play with
Turning
versus
21 in February 29th.
okay,
Because
versus Chelsea. He's just coming from the French league and then you start him versus Chelsea. Like doesn't speak a lick of English and you expose him and he has one of the worst debuts
wait a minute.
within like 10 minutes time in that game. Like why would you make a decision like that? Why would you make a call like that? And then you take him off at halftime to bring in another experienced player. Like if you have that experienced player already, why not just start him and then try to ease this player in that doesn't really understand the Premier League, that doesn't understand the English system, doesn't even can't even communicate with the players around him, right? So that's one. Two, Marmouche. There's only one game that I don't. I mean, I said it in the chat when we were discussing the game, but uh, where I didn't really understand Marmouche's positioning, where it almost seemed like he was playing two up front next to Holland, right? And then I go back and look at Eintracht Frankfurt and how they played, and he was in a two attacking system, a two striker system with Ekitike. And I'm like, okay, so now why would you pay $75 million for this player and basically put him either behind Holland in a little bit in midfield, or you're
Or
playing
as
him
a
as out
left.
exactly. You're playing
Yeah.
him out wide as a
Like
left winger.
yesterday, I didn't understand why he even came on if you're gonna play him like that. So you're correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing I'm like trying to kind of figure out is like, and it's not like we haven't seen that from Pep in the past where Pep would like when he loses, I think it was in the quarterfinal or the last
Against
16
Lyon.
versus Lyon. You that's why you're my man's, bro.
I have a I have
See?
a I have a
Yeah.
just a question for you.
Yeah, go
He was born
ahead.
on February 29th.
Mhm.
How does that work?
I mean
Is
they
he
say
celebrating on the 28th?
28th, yeah.
Okay, okay.
It's like yeah, that's how they
I was
have to
just
do
thinking about
it.
that for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, damn. It's gonna be 21
That's
in February 20.
that
But wait a minute, there's no 29th this year.
that was a fun fact. They're like, oh, he only
Fun
actually
fact, guys,
celebrates.
February 29th. So he
Yeah.
is gonna be 19 for the next 4 years. 20, I mean, for the next 4 years. Or
Yeah,
3 years, I don't know.
he only celebrates his actual birthday every leap year,
Yeah.
which is
Stay
crazy.
young, my friend.
Yeah. But
But you're correct. Like you buy Kusanov, he plays for Excellence, Excellence. They play a back three. So you pay a back three now. Evil fit. And I always say that League 1 is a physical league. So the physicality, he's good. Put him on. Okay, you don't put him on, all right, whatever. Mamouche, you're gonna get scored on. So like at this point, you're looking at Real Madrid with a trio that can score even if they don't play well. But you're gonna try to outscore them. Put Mamouche on. Give me a 4-4-2 class, however you wanna.
mhm.
But if you're gonna put Mamouche on in the second half and you want to impact, and you put him as a left wing and there's no space, he's not gonna give you nothing. You're gonna see a 20 million euro player because, like you said, he he's a forward, but he's not a center forward. He's not a left wing. He's a guy that wants to be in that line next to a striker, let him move around. He's a similar player like Gui, right? It's a bit like Gui started as a 9 this weekend. In the
Mhm.
second half, De Zerbi is like, yeah, I'm not getting anything out of him as a number 9. I'm gonna keep him as a forward, but I'm gonna ask him to, in that, like, he's a lefty, like just move around that, like as a striker, but move around that where you're
Area,
comfortable.
that part
Yeah,
of
that's
that part of
where
the field.
Mamouche wants to move around. He needs space, and also the players also will have to, because the way he plays, he wants to run.
Hmm.
He needs space, but they don't play like that. That's why he looks very, very, very confused. So you're not gonna get a lot unless you switch. I don't think he's gonna switch the whole format just for Marmouche for the second half. Marmouche has to play like Manchester City, so Marmouche is gonna have to be able to operate in tight space.
Yeah, but speaking about that too, it's like because going back to look at Eintracht Frankfurt's positioning because my thing is like when
Aiden
it's
Wari new home.
what's
Why?
that?
Why he's there now?
No, it's not even that. It's like
No, I'm
when
just
so
joking. I'm just saying.
for example, like when he bought when they bought Grealish from Aston Villa for 100 million, right?
Yeah.
We understood why he brought because we're like, okay, like who was there at the time? It was Raheem Sterling, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, and you're bringing him in, and you're like, okay, this is a different profile. This is a guy that probably fits your system a little bit more because he's a guy that's going to be keeping possession. He's going to be
Yeah.
maintaining possession instead of
Mm-hmm.
like looking to
Sterling's just looking like Doku. Like I
beating defend
wanna. Yeah.
try to go one
I'm
on
going at
one.
my defender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know. So this fits your profile, right? Now, okay, you're looking at we don't have a secondary striker since we sold Alvarez. We never had a backup. Haaland is our only striker, right? So now you go after oh, let's go after this guy that's hot in the Bundesliga. But that's not a guy that I would understand if it was a guy like Liam Delap, for example. Like you bring him back in to be a backup for Haaland, right?
Yeah.
But you don't pay 75 million for Marmoush and thinking it's like, oh yeah, we need a secondary striker. Obviously, it's not the case because you're putting him in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
But if you're paying that much for a player, you're gonna look at him as like, all right, does he fit our system? And I'm like, when we're looking right now, I'm not seeing it. Rich, you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
So
At the moment he doesn't fit the system.
yeah, so
Yeah.
why are you paying that money if you're not like maybe
He's
tweak
most
tweak
likely gonna force Marmoush to play as a left winger moving
and
forward.
that's I
If
mean
that's the
I
case, man, I'm bidding 200 million for Vinicius Jr. You know?
uh, so obviously, I mean, the guy's talented. Grealish had a rough start to start with. It's very difficult to understand Pep's methodology and
Yeah,
stuff like that. So we're
he'll
gonna
figure it out.
we're gonna believe in him, and he's gonna figure it out and play well. But
But at
at
the
the
moment,
moment,
he's not. If you want full
exactly,
contribution from the player that you
exactly,
just bought, that was the hottest player
because
in Europe, you have to, because like you said, like when the first time, I'm like, oh, he's playing 4-4-2.
because why not? Because Eintracht Frankfurt, for example, they played a three at the back.
Yeah,
And basically, in possession, that's what Manchester City play. They play a
yeah.
three at the back with like maybe, basically like one defensive midfielder. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it's Pep. His tactics getting outdated and he's being exposed,
He's
or
arrogant.
or
No, because like he could even if Manchester City didn't have a good game, he could have won that game 2-1.
I
He
mean,
could
it's
have
it's it's
if
it's
he
a couple
decided to
mistakes
be like, you know what? We still have to go to the Bernabeu. Let me secure that win. He doesn't like to secure wins. He wants to keep on doing whatever he wants, but in reality, like sometimes you just have to secure your wins, man.
I
Like
mean, let
this
I
is a
mean, let's
two. You're not playing well, but you finished 2-1, bro. Secure it.
I mean,
It's like yeah,
let's look at a couple other mistakes, like Akanji taking off for Rico Lewis versus Vinicius. Do you make that
if you're gonna
substitution?
get Rico Lewis next year,
Do
like because
do
Akanji's out.
yeah? Do
No,
you make that
don't. I probably
substitution?
not. Probably not.
So I think there's some decisions like unfortunately there's like right now Pep is getting a lot of things wrong, like in my opinion,
Yeah,
and
not a good season.
he needs to. I feel
I need to
I
forget
don't
that season.
I don't know if he is checking himself. I mean he's gone on in some press conferences and been like yeah, it's me, it's my fault, it's not the player's fault and stuff like that.
I
But
think he needs a break.
he
That's
had
why
he had the
if he
opportunity.
gets knocked out in the Champions League, the Premier League's not on, like you know what, like you just start thinking about next week, go to vacation, and
Yeah.
then reset. Because like right now it's
and
not
then
working out. Yeah.
and then you get Rodri back, and then no more
And then you
excuses
go you
after.
go you go in a you go in the market and then spend another 300 for midfielders. He is going to because he doesn't have the profile. But yeah,
100%, 100%. But yeah, that's what I wanted to
that's
talk
no,
about.
that's good questions, bro. Like
Yeah,
that was my thoughts as well when I was watching like terms of position and stuff like
yeah.
that.
Because they got battered at Arsenal. They struggled versus Leighton Orient. I think
Who they
who's
don't struggle with? Who they don't struggle with? Like, bro, that's
and
why I
then
was
they
pissed off when I was saying I was watching the game, and then I'm like, yo, we can't even dominate. We can't even really dominate a team that's not that good. That's disgusting, bro. Like, I know Real Madrid had a good game, like in terms of like creating position. I mean, creating goals. If you have those three at the front and you can't create, You don't need to be good. But overall, the game, the stability of the team,
Mhm.
it was not good for me. Not a good
It's
game.
gonna it's gonna be a very interesting matchup
Next week.
On Saturday versus Newcastle. We're
Oh,
gonna
you're
see.
talking about yeah.
Yeah, we're
They're
gonna
probably
see
gonna
what
lose.
happens. We're gonna see
They'll
what
lose.
happens.
Yeah,
I'm
good
expecting
game
a
though.
response. I'm expecting a response.
They
So,
need to. They need to. Yeah.
all right. Well, now the other thing that was dominating the news was Luka Doncic's debut as
Which one?
his, what?
You want to talk
Which
about the one yesterday?
which one? The one yesterday? Nah.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I mean, it's
Because
gonna
you
be
know it was
brought
the
up.
same team. That's what I was saying.
Exactly, it's gonna be brought up, and that's exactly what I said. Like when I was like, Luka Doncic debuts. What was it on Tuesday? Tuesday night? No.
Monday night,
Monday night. Yeah, Monday night.
10:30
Versus
p.m. Eastern time versus the
versus
Utah
the Utah
Jazz.
Jazz, and everybody got a spring in their step. LeBron looking like he hit the fountain of youth.
Bro,
Like,
LeBron was playing like the first time in LeBron's defense. I'm like, yeah, he likes that move.
like he had the
He got
fountain
the
of
Luka
youth.
Doncic shirt.
Yep. And everybody's excited. It's like, oh
He got the
man,
message to him too.
they
What do you say? Fit
what was that?
he said something about Luke. He said something before the game to Luka. Like don't try to
Oh,
basically he's saying
oh,
don't
don't
try
try to
to
fit
fit.
in, fit out.
Yeah. Like we're gonna like just the same thing like Anthony
Yeah,
Edwards said to Rendo. We're gonna try to
yeah,
figure it out with you, which
yeah,
is not the same thing, but I'm just
yeah.
not a good comparison, sorry.
But they blew out the Utah Jazz, and
And they got blown
people
out.
people start making all these like, yeah, man, the Lakers have the potential to win a championship this year, and then boom, last night the same team,
Same team. But you know what, Mike? I
basically.
think that at the end of the day, even if they don't win a championship with Luka with LeBron, they still won.
No, 100%,
Yeah.
100%. The kid's 25 years old, man. Like,
'Cause you look around the league right now. In the next 5 6 years, like, how many good teams are gonna be like OKC, maybe Rockets, um, Spurs. I like the move. I mean, like you get someone to pair with Luca, they're in also in the conversation. You know,
100%. And they almost kind of was able to actually get a team that could contend, right? Like that could potentially
with
be
Mark,
a problem. Yeah, like
eh,
because you
see a
just
lot
need
of
a
people making noise, but like it's all right. Like we haven't even seen the fit yet with Mark,
no, no, for sure, for
even though he's
sure.
not
I
gonna
mean,
be there anymore.
yeah,
Now it's Lynx.
the trade was rescinded, but
Yeah.
the thing is that like when I was looking at it, it's like, okay, this is a guy that has some upside when you look at it because not only he's athletic, you're looking at
Yeah.
the wingspan, you're like,
Yep.
okay, maybe if he's in an environment with a champion with one of the goats like LeBron James,
Oh yeah, for sure.
he's able to focus and learn
Yeah.
and being able to adapt and play better defense, being able, to read
Be
offense and
more
all that stuff.
focused too. Yeah.
Exactly. And being able to become, a guy that Charlotte wanted to get rid of to a guy that actually has all-star caliber type of potential as a five, right? Because he's playing next to these two guys. Because when you're looking at Derek Lively, you're looking at like Mark Williams. So it's like, okay, why can't he be a Derek Lively? Like,
True.
he's as
Very. Yep.
athletic. It's just the fact like, hey, maybe your motor needs to be we need to get you more active. We need to get you more engaged and stuff like that. And in an environment where there's pressure, where there's expectations, maybe that comes like he's playing in Charlotte where he's like watching LaMelo Ball chuck half court shots like every time he goes down the court. It's like, all right, man, like yo, this is just vibes. Like I don't
Yeah, it
care.
is.
Like I don't really care. So that's what I was looking at. Is like, even though there's all these negative things like surrounding him, like, there's this clip that went viral after the trade went down. Like one of the color commentator for the Charlotte Hornets was eviscerating him, like just telling him like, yo, this is not a starting caliber center in the NBA.
He was renting.
What happened?
He was in a rent.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even a rant. He was just basically like very calmly. It wasn't even like the James
Oh,
Harden
okay.
one, the famous James Harden one. It was just basically like calling him out and it's like, hey, this is high school level effort that this center is giving for this NBA
That's what happens when
franchise.
you're in a losing franchise.
Exactly.
Like, when do you know? Like,
Exactly.
it's the same thing. Like what we were discussing with Kuzma. It was like, yeah, he's a champion, but he has been in a losing situation for 3 years. How do you come back and be like, okay, I'm in a winning team now. Like, I have to be in a winning mentality in practice every game.
Yeah, every possession matters.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah. So
when you're
you
in
have to
those
kind of like locked
organizations.
in with this thing in your head. But like,
Hmm.
yeah, you wanted to talk about like the his debut. Yeah,
Yeah, what did you think, man? What do you think of the
I think
fit so far?
I think well, I think you know how I feel about Luca already. Like, Luca to me resembled. It's not the same player, but he's almost the same type of player. Not the same player, but also like the way they operate is the same type of player with Brunson.
Mm.
And when you have those kind of players and the way they play, you need uh either uh either shooters around them, people that can stretch the floor, cutters, and like you said, like a Mark Williams.
And
Um I think the first game was good, but we're gonna see a lot of scrap a lot and until they get it. But there's gonna have to be different roles. Like a guy like Wu Achimura, you're gonna have to do a little bit more, like move around, sometimes be a spot up shooter. Reeves, it's gonna be interesting to see how he fits in with Luca as well. But Reeves has been playing well, so I think it's gonna be okay. So far, it was good. Not yesterday, but it was
yeah,
good. It was good.
yeah.
I liked it. There's You would definitely want to see them with a proper center. Maybe they go look for Dwight Howard because I
He
don't
is
know
now
how it's gonna work. Huh?
he's never putting the purple and gold on again,
He's
man.
brushing his teeth with his wife, so he's not looking good. Yeah.
But
But like I said, that type of player who's gonna when he's fully like in a 10 game with the Lakers, okay, that's my team now, and then he's gonna run it. He's gonna hold the ball for a long time. So different players who touch the ball in different times are gonna have to adjust to how he plays. That's when I'm gonna see how it's gonna work. Because sometimes Luka's gonna give you the ball for 2 minutes, and you have 2 minutes to do something. If he keep, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes that's my frustration with Brunson. Sometimes when he cannot get to his spot and he realizes I gotta get rid of the ball, but you getting rid of the ball for 2 minutes and you give it to Josh Hart. Josh Hart is not known for that type player.
yeah,
Now he has to do some like a move. You put in a player in a situation that he's not used to. So that's one I want to see how he's gonna click with that team. But the first game was good. I
yeah,
liked it.
yeah. The
A
first
lot
game
of
was
energy.
good.
It's just energy.
Yeah,
First game,
that's
yeah.
it. That's it. And
Everyone wants
when
to win for you, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why I said like it's the Utah Jazz, man. That's all I said. That's all I had to say. It's the
Well,
Utah
Utah Jazz
Jazz.
showed you yesterday they're
And
not
then they
just
came
Utah
back
Jazz.
last
So
night and they beat them. And then you had Austin Reeves that shot 4 for 15, one for 10 from deep in that game. And I think,
that's fine. He's
I
been
think
playing well. I'll let it
no,
rock.
100%. But
Yeah.
why I highlighted that is because the fact that I didn't watch last night's game. To be completely fair, but I
I was
would
watching
assume
multiplex.
I would assume that what were you watching?
No, multiplex. I was watching a bunch of
Multiplex
games at the same
at the
time.
same
I was
time.
watching the Knicks game. I was watching the Suns game. I was watching oh, that was another game I was watching.
Denver,
Uh Not the Denver. Um
the Spurs game versus the Celtics.
nah.
No,
I'll let you know. There was another game I was
okay.
watching. What was it?
But yeah, the reason why I'm highlighting that for Reeves is the fact that I think when the trade first got announced before the Mark Williams thing, I was like, okay, they put the potential starting five on the screen, and I'm like, where are the shooters? And they're like, well, Austin Reeves and Luca. Yeah, I'm like, okay, Luca's gonna have the ball in his hands like I don't know 60% of the time. Like you need to stretch the floor out. Like it can't only be just Austin Reeves, right? I think this team is going to struggle, in my opinion, for the short term until they actually retool this team
Yeah.
in the summer. Rui is gonna have to be upgraded. It's gonna have to come at the expense of somebody on the team. Like the Jackson Hayes thing, like being a starter right now, I'm not even too conflicted about it. Like maybe the reason why they brought in Alex Len is because of the potential of, the outside threat for him, and Jackson Hayes can't do that. Where, maybe he could do a pick and pop like with Luca, but it's not like, Derek Lively or Daniel Gafford were pick and pop guys. Like, I don't really think that was really necessary. Like the athletic big, like the Jackson Hayes thing, I don't really have an issue with it being a starter. But the other guys where it's just Austin Reeves and Rui and then LeBron James, and LeBron has proven that he could be a threat from deep. Like he's up
Yeah,
his
yeah,
shooting his 3-point shooting percentage has upgraded since he's been like 33. 34, like
for real.
33, 34. He's just been getting consistently better at shooting the deep ball. But for right now, and if you're an LA fan, I'm just gonna be honest, man. This team is gonna struggle a little bit. Like Luca can get, and Luca's just coming back from an injury, so he has to get his rhythm and his game shape back so that he could ball out again. But once teams like start figuring it out, where I was like, okay, we could kind of load up on Luca and LeBron. Yeah, Austin Reeves is nice, but like if he's not getting in a rhythm where LeBron and Luca are actually dominating possession and dictating pace, like how effective he's gonna be. So I think this team is really short term right now. I think they're gonna struggle.
Yeah. I think they have a couple tools that they can keep and then they can use like a guy like Vanderbilt for defensive
Hmm.
purposes. Um, so yeah, they're like two players away maybe from being very.
I just think they need lethal shooting. They
Yeah,
just
that's what
need
I'm saying. Like
one,
Luka needs little shooting around him. So I
one.
think they're gonna be able to be two. They will be two.
We're gonna see. But so far, exciting, exciting.
Exciting to see,
Yeah,
man. Not
yeah.
a Lakers fan, but it was exciting to watch the game.
Mhm.
So
I gotta go get my
I'm a
purple
sports
and
fan,
gold.
Mike.
I gotta
I
go
always
get my
tell you guys
purple,
that.
purple and gold 77 jersey.
That's why you guys don't like me, cause like I be like too tough on my teams. I'm like, yo, I'm a sports first. Was happy. You know what? I wanted to say something. You know what I don't like about you guys?
What?
Whenever Trey Young keeps losing to the Knicks, you guys don't say nothing. You guys are
But
quiet.
that's
No, it was
supposed
it
that's
was
the
a good game
standard,
from him
Rich.
though.
That's the
No, it was a good game
standard.
from, but the minute he wins like a random game in the next like 5 years and then he does like some dance move, you guys, oh, he owns the Knicks. Don't get me wrong. He always got good games with the Knicks, but record wise, man, y'all be exaggerating this shit because he don't be winning like that against the
It's like
Knicks.
they
He's
cannot
on
let
two straight losing right now. No
they
mention
can't
of
they
it.
they just can't let it happen at home, bro. That's it.
That's fine if it happens. It's basketball. The guy is a good basketball player. He's a
It's like
I score. He can do that to you. But don't come on, guys. Like right, like
it's
you
like
got
it's like and the game was close last night too. Too
it was
close
a
for
close
comfort.
game, but
Too
it's a
close for
loss.
comfort.
And I
Mhm.
noticed something. The game was not going his way. He was not really celebrating. So that's what I was saying. He picks whenever he wants to celebrate.
Hey man,
And
if
I don't
I
like that. I don't like that because we don't do that. We don't do that. I mean, when I said I don't like that, you could do it, but that's like weird. Like it means you're scared of that game. You'd be like, oh,
Eh.
all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think he's scared of that game.
He
I
nah,
feel
he
like
was
he
scared
just
of that game yesterday. He had a great deep three and he didn't celebrate. I'm like, yeah, he's scared of that game because he think he's gonna lose it. So your pick, he's literally picking when he's not. Man, let's move on.
um
I got some card games for you if you don't have anything
okay.
else.
All right. Yeah, that's it. That's it,
That's it.
buddy. That's all that was on my mind.
Um. Okay. All right. Let me get. All right. Let's end the show with a great banger. So I got a couple card games for you. I'm looking at this. I know the audience can't see it, but can you describe what that is?
Richie got a miniature hourglass.
Okay.
Maybe so that's probably what, 60 seconds?
I hope so. All right.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Let's start with the first one. In karate, what color belt comes before a black belt?
White,
I'll
yellow,
give you one more.
yellow.
Okay, nah,
Okay.
brown.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
Damn.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me see. So let me throw this card away.
Damn, I did not go.
You could get that one. You will get that
Go
one.
to karate classes. I don't know.
It's brown. I didn't know too. So yeah. One more. What are the small bumps on a basketball called?
Ooh, I don't know.
Come on, you're a basketball player. I'm not. Nah. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. You played basketball for like 10 years.
I don't know. I never. I just called basketball Spalding. That's it. I never thought about. I never thought about the grip.
Give me a guess. Give me a guess.
I don't know, bro.
All right, Pebbles.
What? I never think about that, man. Pebbles? Who decided that?
I don't know. You gotta ask them. Whoever made the cards.
Come on, bro.
Let me see if there's another one. Maybe you get that one. If you don't get that one, you bug.
Let's see. I'm uncultured.
Which company produces all NBA National Basketball Association uniforms? Nike? Don't play with. All right. Don't play.
I almost said Adidas. Adidas.
You want an extra one?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see if I could go two.
I don't think you're gonna get that one, but
2 for 4. Let's see.
If you get that one, I'll cash out you.
Okay.
Why were the Olympic Games canceled in 1916? I think
the death of King Ferdinand.
The death of King Ferdinand.
Yeah,
that was a very, very specific answer. It was World War One.
Yeah, which was we're gonna have to go dig into that because I think World War One was started because of that, because of they shot King Ferdinand. Okay. We're gonna have to deep dive on that.
All right, let's do that. All right. Yeah, that's all. No more cards.
You want to take us home?
What happened? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Wrap it up.
Yeah. So this was episode 97. Always available on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple. Like, subscribe, and our X handles are always on the comments. Feel free to reach out and conversate. Say whatever you feel.
Yes, sir.
And we're here. Any last words, Mike?
No. Catch me talking smack about Manchester United on X.
On X, yeah. You playing on Sunday versus Tottenham?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. So yeah, and then when you go visit Mike's X page, you're gonna see a lot of like frustration against Manchester United. So, share the comment with him, show him support. Thank you very much. Peace.
Peace.